My husband Owen and I recently had a baby. We were so excited to have a baby in our lives, and our families were so supportive every step of the way. The pregnancy went well, and I thought the birth would be uneventful, but I wasn't prepared for the pain. And Owen probably did too, because he kept making comments about my screaming. Sitting across from Owen in the dimly lit living room, with our newborn son Liam asleep in the next room, I felt a cocktail of emotions swirling inside me. Just a week ago, we were in the hospital, I was going into labor, Owen was by my side. And yet, the memories were still haunting me. I took a deep breath, gathering my thoughts and the courage to tell him what had happened during labor. Owen, I began, my voice even but gentle, we need to talk about what happened at the hospital. His eyes met mine, uncertainty flickering in them. He nodded, and I decided to continue. Remember when I was giving birth, you asked me to stop screaming? You said I was embarrassing you. He shifted uncomfortably in his seat, which I took as a confession. Yes, I remember, he replied, his tone defensive but tinged with regret. I paused to let his confession hang in the air between us. I want you to understand how those words made me feel, I continued, my voice firmer. I was in excruciating pain, Owen. I was trying to bring our child into this world, and all you could think about was how ashamed you were. His reaction was not what I expected. Instead of sympathy or even an apology, my husband's face hardened and his voice rose in anger. A woman is obliged to listen to her husband, and you could have been quieter during labor, he responded angrily. I must admit that the tone of my usually caring and sweet husband took me by surprise. I felt a surge of disbelief and anger at his reaction. How could the man I loved, the father of my child, be so insensitive? But underneath the anger, I felt confused and unsure. This was not the partnership I had envisioned when we vowed to support each other through life's trials. Owen, I said, my voice breaking with emotion, do you really think that? That my pain and effort should be dampened to spare you discomfort? He just looked at me. It was one of the first times I couldn't figure out what my husband was thinking. I stood up, completely disgusted by what I had just heard from him. I went upstairs, picked up our newborn from his crib and went into the master bedroom. I spent most of the day there, locked the door to keep Owen out. I only opened the door when I heard him start the car and drive off to meet his friends that evening. That day helped me clarify Owen's character. I saw a part of him that I had never seen before, and I didn't like it. I knew I still loved him, how could I not love him after all the time we'd been together? But I needed to show him that I wasn't just obeying his every word. So I used this time to figure out how to make him see me as a person and not just a servant. And I needed help from my family. A week later, when Owen and I walked through the door of my parents' house to have dinner, I could sense his excitement. He knew this dinner was more than just a normal family gathering. I think he sensed something was wrong. My family, unaware of the tension between us, welcomed us with open arms, their warmth and love filling the room. There was an atmosphere of laughter and conversation around the dinner table. We shared memories and the delicious aromas of my mother's cooking filled the air. Everyone was happy to see the new baby and celebrate with us. As the evening progressed, I asked the sisters to share their birth experiences. I wanted Owen to hear other birth stories and compare them to ours. My sisters spoke of the pain, the joy, and most importantly, the unwavering support they received from their spouses. Their stories painted a picture of partnership and mutual respect, of husbands who were there not only physically but emotionally, offering understanding and support. Owen listened silently, his recent stubbornness replaced by thoughtful attention. I saw how their words affected him, how he realized what he had missed in his role during our birth. It was a turning point for him, which I hoped would allow us to return to our previous relationship. While everyone at the table shared stories, Owen sat silently. I watched as his brows furrowed deeper and deeper and his expression became sad. I swear, at one point I thought I saw him wipe away a tear. I started to wonder if it wouldn't be better to give him away that way. Won't this humiliate him and distance us even more from each other? When it was my turn to tell my story, I looked at Owen. There was remorse in his eyes. He seemed resigned to being publicly disgraced. And then I realized that I didn't want this to be the tone of my entire marriage. So instead of dwelling on the pain and disappointment, I decided to focus on the positives, highlighting the good things Owen did during my pregnancy and channeling the birth experience. Owen was kind and supportive throughout my entire pregnancy with baby Liam, I told my family. It's not exactly a lie, but perhaps an omission. But I meant what I said. I told them about how Owen rubbed my swollen legs and helped me every day. My family loved these stories, and Owen looked at me with the same love that had always been in his eyes before. After dinner, as we were leaving, he called me aside. His apology was sincere, and he promised never to talk to me like a servant again. I'm really sorry, Sarah. Tonight made me realize how much I still have to learn. I promise to be a better husband, a better partner for you. The drive home was quiet, filled with reflection and the quiet sounds of music. Liam was lying in the back seat, already fast asleep. I was thinking about the decision I had made back in my parents' house. Did I do the right thing by shielding Owen from the full truth about his actions? As I watched him sleep that night, a sense of peace came over me. Yes, I believed him. Owen's remorse was genuine. His desire to change was obvious. By choosing compassion over confrontation, I gave us both a chance to move forward, to build a stronger foundation for our relationship and for our family. It wasn't about forgetting the past, but about choosing a future where we learn from our mistakes and grow together. But would you forgive your husband for this? Or would you let him explain his actions to the whole family? Let us know on Facebook. Here's another story you might enjoy about a 16-year-old boy who came in with a newborn baby in his arms. After our bitter divorce, my life took a turn I never expected. I became a single mother to our son, Josh, who harbored a dream that seemed as distant as it was desperate, reuniting our fractured family. But the universe has a special way of responding to the desires of a child's heart, and in our case it happened through an amazing turn of events. One day Josh came home holding a newborn baby, which symbolized a bridge over troubled waters, but also a new set of problems that none of us were prepared for. Looking back, there was a time when our family shared moments of true happiness and unity. However, the divorce and Derek's subsequent departure to start a new life with another woman tore apart this fabric of family unity. Despite all this upheaval, Josh's bond with his father remained strong, a testament to the innocence of childhood love that is unaffected by the complexities of adult relationships. The son's desire to get back together became even more acute when he spoke about his discomfort with Derek's new girlfriend, Sylvia. Derek's insensitivity reached new heights when he introduced Sylvia as Josh's new mommy, a remark that left me seething with anger. The phrase, casually thrown out in conversation, was a slap in the face, ignoring the years of love, sacrifice, and care I had put into raising Josh. My immediate instinct was to protect my son from further pain, even if it meant severing the bond between him and his father. My son's desire to restore the old ways became even more acute when he spoke about his discomfort with Derek's new girlfriend, Sylvia. Derek's insensitivity reached new heights when he introduced Sylvia as Josh's new mom, a remark that left me seething with anger. The phrase, casually thrown out in conversation, was a slap in the face, ignoring the years of love, sacrifice, and care I had put into raising Josh. My immediate instinct was to protect my son from further pain, even if it meant severing the bond between him and his father. The situation escalated when Sylvia, pregnant and abandoned by Derek, turned to Josh at a moment of extreme vulnerability. Despite all my doubts and the resurfacing of past grievances, the sight of Josh holding Sylvia's child, his half-brother Andrew, stirred something in me. It was a call to take on a role I didn't expect, and one that was driven by Josh's unwavering commitment to doing right by his brother. Josh's request to adopt Andrew when he came of age was a moment of reckoning for me. It was a test of my ability to forgive, understand and, above all, love. His maturity and sense of responsibility shone through in his actions, qualities that stood in stark contrast to Derek's absence and neglect. Ultimately, our decision to welcome Andrew into our lives marked the beginning of a new chapter. It wasn't the family reunion Josh had first imagined, but it was a form of togetherness born out of compassion, resilience, and an unexpected turn of events. Derek eventually tried to come back into our lives, asking for forgiveness and taking part in raising Andrew, but it was too late. Our family, although unconventional and formed through trials, has found balance. Josh, who became a father figure to Andrew, and his partner Emma provided the love and stability Andrew needed, proving that family is not always defined by blood, but by bonds of love and devotion. As I reflect on our journey, I realize that it is a testament to the strength that can be found in facing life's unexpected challenges. This is the story of a family that has reinvented itself in the face of adversity, not going back to the way things were, but moving forward with hope, love and unwavering commitment to each other. Write in the comments what would you have done and subscribe to our channel D-Dam Mix.